Hey guys, you may not know this, but there's a little thing I like to call James time. And this moment right here, that's a great example of James time.
James, can you just...
It's James time! Ah! On Wednesday, we talked about some leaks concerning NVIDIA's rumored super versions of their RTX graphics cards. But now there's even more information from sources. I love air quotes today. It's still a little sketchy, but apparently insider sources have told WCCF Tech, Videocards.com, and Igor Walasek from Tom's Hardware Germany that NVIDIA will release upgraded versions of the RTX 2060, 2070, and 2080 at those cards' original price points, while the vanilla versions will get a price cut. WCCF Tech's and Videocards.com sources both point to a possible announcement for these cards next week. Now, what this could mean for the graphics card market is just chaos. Utter debasement. NVIDIA would have 11 current gen cards out there, from the GTX 1650 to the Titan RTX. Not to mention, it will probably anger gamers who just bought the non-super Clark Kent RTX cards at full price. Let's hope the Radeon RX 5700 cards are pretty super themselves, or they're gonna have a super hard time selling to a super crowded market.
You can say that again.
Super duper. It's time to check in on our favorite sketchy Chinese company, HUAWEI.
Beautiful.
The company got some bad press this week that was unrelated to its ban by the US. Huawei device owners reported that ads started showing up on their lock screens for hotelservicebooking.com. After the reports became widespread, Huawei removed the wallpaper ads from their servers, but didn't mention whether the ad placement was intentional or not. Meanwhile, the company announced it has delayed its Mate X folding phone to September from its original summer launch. Yeah, September is definitely fall. Huawei says they delayed the phone not because of the US ban, but to avoid problems similar to the ones that plagued the Samsung Galaxy Fold, which has been indefinitely delayed due to manufacturing issues. Well, that explanation is a bit hard to swallow, given that Huawei also just canceled the launch of their latest Matebook. Despite the setbacks, Huawei might be gaining allies. China's Global Times reports that fellow Chinese companies Xiaomi, Tencent, and Oppo are reportedly testing Huawei's Hongmeng operating system for use with their own products, presumably to use as a replacement for Android, which they won't be able to use anymore. That sounds scary, but isn't that actually a good thing? That means that there are more Androids for the rest of us.
Yeah.
I love hoarding Androids.
I want more.
And 5G might be the next big thing in tech, but there's just one problem. It might break our weather detection systems.
That's okay.
NASA and the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, have warned that since the band of spectrum used by 5G equipment is very close to the band used by weather technology, deploying vast 5G networks could result in a data loss of roughly 77%. That's a lot of percents.
Wow.
But Ajit Pai, chairman of the FCC, thinks NASA doesn't know what they're talking about. I mean, they're only NASA.
Yeah.
Pai says that studies provided by the two dissenting agencies are faulty and that they fail to account for the use of beamforming, which would focus 5G signals more precisely to avoid interference with weather equipment. For now, it looks like 5G development is moving forward, so I guess we'll find out if we've shot ourselves in the foot after we pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Usually a good strategy.
Yeah, you gotta be confident.
It's gonna rain!
I know it's gonna rain already.
Now it's time for Quick Bits, brought to you by Linus Coffee. Hit me.
Ah!
Ha! You can drink the very essence of Linus Tech Tips with the Lambo Roast. It's got a sweet chocolatey flavor, a huge bold body, and a smooth caramel finish. Smelling it makes me feel like I'm riding a unicorn. And by unicorn, I mean a Lambo. A Lambo made of unicorn. It runs on their dreams. Plus, Madrina's delicious organic cold brew coffee comes in sweet and creamy flavors like, yeah.
Oh no!
It didn't explode, so it's still a win. You should just throw,
There we
oh
go.
God.
It's fine.
I don't know if this can still be open, but delicious organic cold brew coffee come in sweet and creamy flavors like this limited edition LTT Cafe Vanilla. But the real kicker is that you, yes you, can get 40% off your entire order. Just go to lmg.gg/TL coffee and click the link in the description and use offer code Linus. Do it now. That is the real kicker, isn't it?
Whoa.
Yes. Quick Bits is a state of mind. There is no spoon. Intel has not stopped their wild hiring spree just yet, with their latest recruits being former Apple developer Manisha Padya and John Sell, who also worked for Apple but most recently worked for Microsoft as the chief architect of chip designs for the Xbox One X and the upcoming Project Scarlet. Man, Intel is building up the hype for their graphics cards, like something fierce. Like imagine they launch and they just suck.
It's like, hey, these are just integrated graphics.
Elon Musk, bless his heart, he dropped by E3 to announce that even more games are coming to Tesla vehicles, including Beach Buggy Racing 2, which will let you use the car's steering wheel to control the game, even when you're driving. Just joking, I made that last part up. Tesla is also working on adding support for video streaming apps like YouTube and Netflix, but Tesla owners will only be able to use these features while the vehicle is in park. Boring, but also a relief. Musk also took the opportunity to remind us, once again, that we're all living in a simulation.
Right.
Nothing's real, except me. More leaks to make you freak out unnecessarily. Sources reportedly told WCCF Tech that AMD is planning to launch a new Threadripper CPU with 64 frickin' cores and 128 threads in Q4 2019. And that's really cool, but like guys, how many threads do you really need, you know? We gotta stop at some point. I'm scared, especially because this chip will apparently launch on the X599 platform. So AMD's jumping from X399 to 599. Come on!
It's a mess.
I can't handle that many X's. AI-generated deepfake videos and photos may be a scourge on humans' ability to determine what's real. But Adobe has come up with a solution. Make an AI figure it out. Ha! The company worked with researchers at UC Berkeley on a machine learning method to identify when images of faces have been manipulated. But what if that AI gets tricked into joining the deepfake AIs? And then we need another AI to figure out where the first one's lying.
Oh no.
Or as Smarter Every Day would say, countermeasures. He loves countermeasures.
Yeah, what if that happens?
Yeah, what if? And security from CyberMDX has found critical security vulnerabilities in an infusion pump widely used in hospitals and clinics. The pump runs on a pre-Android operating system, Windows CE. There is a patch available though, so if you're getting an IV, make sure you ask your nurse whether your pump's being updated. Or you and your very blood could get hacked.
No!
That sounds like a joke, but it could be dangerous, so. Your nurse isn't gonna know.
They might.
It would be just as dangerous, not really, to continue this episode, so it's time to end it, once and for all. So come back on Monday for more tech news, and hey, maybe even subscribe if you're feeling up to it. If not, that's fine. You live your life at your own pace, okay, sweetie? Sweetie? Who writes this stuff?
I may just say sweetie.
Hey, sweetie.
Hey.
Hey, doll.